Yo, what's good stream? We are back. Sorry, I'm just off the wake up. We're gonna go over the UFC 328 card. I'm not gonna lie, potentially best card of the year. Potentially. My picks were pretty good. I only missed 3 fights, I believe. So we're gonna go from the start and follow on down. Starting with Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Achua, or Achua. I believe I picked. Yeah, I believe I picked. I not. I believe. I know. I know. I picked Jose Achua. He ended up winning decision. I'm not gonna lie. He's fucking comp. Like, he needs a ranked opponent. He battered the shit out of Clayton Carpenter. Clayton Carpenter is tough as fuck though. His whole face was just busted up. And he had some pretty good back takes, but he really couldn't do anything. He was trying to take the fight to the ground, but he just couldn't get it there. Achua has some great fucking takedown defense, and then like on top of that, just great pressure and like just he was mixing it up, going to the body, going up top. It was just awesome. Like literally a striking masterclass to watch, and I mean that opened up the card. Um, yeah, no, it was an amazing fight. Amazing fight to open up the card. And even before the fight was over, 92 head strikes from Achua. It ended off 100 and or no. Huh. They must got the number wrong cuz when it was live it said 92. Um All right. On to the next one. Chimaev versus Santos, Jordan Santos. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of impressed with Santos. I thought he was gonna get steamrolled, and I did pick Sisukayev. But he held his own. He was pressuring. He had a really good uppercut on an elbow off like the clinch breaks, and then he was just working the jab the whole time. And Sisukayev really could not handle that jab. But he had amazing leg kicks. Like he was just tearing up Santos' leg. Um, his cardio is definitely a question though. Like at first he definitely looked clean and looked like he had the advantage, but his cardio he looked gassed as fuck by the second round. Um, he also had some great elbows in there, cut open Santos. He's definitely strong as shit. Uh, but yeah, he ends up just fucking ragdolling Santos to the ground and throws him in a rear naked choke. So it's good to see the finish. So yeah, my pick was right again. Now on to the worst fucking fight on the entire card. This fight was dog shit. Honestly, neither of them should even be proud of this performance. Sabatini, I'm not gonna lie. UFC, you might have to cut this motherfucker. Because his shit was garbage. Um, what did I chat? Um, I picked Sabatini to win, too. That's how you know this shit was ass. Like, I'm not even happy that my pick was right. He just kept trying to, like, use leverage, wrap around, Gomez's leg to, like, trip him into a takedown. But Gomez was just literally too tough. He couldn't get, or not too tough, too tall. So he couldn't get the leverage he needed to pull him to the ground off the cage. And I'm just, like, reading off my notes, and it's literally, like, Sabatini, like, this is after round one. Sabatini probably won, but not impressive. Just holding on the fence. Like, he literally could not keep Gomez down at all. Uh, After round two, probably 2-0. Sabatini, not impressive. And then, yeah, like, no success at keeping him down. fucking snoozer. A boring ass fight. This was the worst fight of the entire card. And then Sabatini won via UD. No fucking damage was applied at all this entire fight. That shit was horrible. Okay. Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. This was another good fight. Tulio looks huge. Honestly, he could probably fucking go up to light heavyweight. Because he looks gigantic. Kopylov has amazing footwork. And just like, his striking is so beautiful. Good speed, good accuracy, fucking good power. He was landing. I wish he would have threw more in a combination earlier on, because every single time he'd throw like a combination, it would land clean. But instead, he kind of just like was picking shots, and I feel like Marco Tulio was winning the fight when he was just picking shots. But he really should have opened up a little bit more. And then same with like the fight IQ, man. Like, he rocks Tulio twice. He rocked him twice, like hard. No, it was actually 3 times. Rocked Tulio hard, like on the ground. Could finish the fight. What does he do instead? Fucking grapples, bro, and just grinds on the fence. So, I mean, he ends up winning the fight. I mean, it was a good fight overall. But like, bro, you could have got the finish. Kopylov by UD. It was a really good striking match. I actually went undefeated on the early prelims. Every prediction I got, or every prediction I put, was correct. Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon. Talking about undefeated, I'm no longer, because I picked Jared Gordon in this fight because I didn't think that Jim Miller would be able to put him on the ground, and I thought it would kind of just be him picking apart Miller on the feet. But man, Jim Miller just was pressuring him off the rip, knees to the body, kicks. And then, I mean, for some reason, Jared Gordon shot a fucking takedown, and he just immediately got wrapped into a guillotine, and it was fucking deep, man. It was over. It was a very, very slick guillotine. And Jim Miller, he's old as fuck, but he's still in the UFC, and he's still winning. I believe Dana White signed him to a 5-fight extension deal. So, he's going to be in the UFC for a while, and I know his goal is to fight on UFC 400. So, he just keeps adding to his record. Okay. Grant Dawson versus Mateusz Rebecki. I really thought this was going to be a boring fight. I picked Rebecki. Yeah, 2 L's back-to-back. I picked Rebecki. I really thought Grant Dawson was just going to be a fucking boring-ass wet blanket like he has been in the past. But his striking has looked kind of improved. He did get dropped in the second round, though. And it was hard, too. But for some reason, Rebecki has, like, negative fight IQ and decides to, let's grapple with the guy that I just got lucky to drop. Also, Rebecki was grabbing the cage blatantly in front of the ref and just, like, nobody said shit. Or, Beltran just let it happen. Dawson had great knees, great check, like, great hooks. I don't know why the fuck Grant Dawson threw a flying knee in there. That shit was wild. In the chaos, Rebecki was winning, but like he couldn't cause the chaos. I mean, and I am impressed at Grant Dawson striking. That motherfucker was throwing clean high kicks. Never seen him doing that before. So he ends up winning via rear naked choke. All right. Now, to Joel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amazov. Now I picked Amazov, and I was gonna pick Alvarez, but I ended up picking Amazov because of his like fucking huge Bellator history. And dude, this shit was impressive. He ragdolled Alvarez. Like you can just tell the levels of grappling wasn't even close. He just kept picking him up, slamming him back down, pick him up, slamming him back down. He did that shit like six times. Yeah, 6 out of 11 takedowns. And Alvarez is good on the ground. He wrapped up Alvarez like he was a fucking child. Like he had no experience. Um and then like he even suplexed him into the fucking arm triangle. And then he also just had an amazing fucking head kick. Um and to top it all off, to make him one of my favorite fighters now, this motherfucker hit a spinneroonie. A spinneroonie. Shout out Booker T. So, yeah, I think he's like a dark horse of the division, man. I really only see him maybe struggling with like Islam or Sean Brady or something, but his grappling is out of this fucking world. All right, on to the final prelim. Gautier versus Diaz. Obviously, I picked fucking Gautier. Um, Gautier looks improved. I mean, this wasn't super impressive, but he's definitely improved. His cardio has gotten better, and then like he was throwing a really good calf kick to start round one, and he kind of just stopped throwing that. Have no idea why, but he was throwing a nice uppercut too when he would mix in with the just the 1-2. Diaz was doing a good job, kind of forcing the clinch and shit, but he really couldn't keep the clinch up. And yeah, he got lazy with the striking, and he just got caught with a fucking crazy right overhand, right over the top, and it just put him down. And that motherfucker literally folded like a lawn chair. It was crazy. He tried to like protest the finish, but it's like, bro, you just folded up like my fucking chair that I sit in outside. So it's like, yeah, he won. Gautier by KO. Um, and yeah, he's gonna have problems if he runs into a good grappler. Uh, so I went 2-2 on the prelims. Shot 50%, not the worst. To open up the main card, King Green versus Jeremy Stevens. I did pick King Green, but I thought it was gonna be a knockout. Also, Jeremy Stevens missed weight, so just even more of a reason. Fucking retire, dude. If you're gonna come in and miss weight and just lose and get the shit kicked out of you, you haven't won an MMA fight since 2018. Like, bro, just retire. There's no point for you to be back. Um, but yeah, no, Bobby Green was in there, just super slick, hands down, fucking just amazing combinations. Um, and then he caught him with a good left hand and just started to swarm Jeremy Stevens. And then Jeremy Stevens got saved by a nut check, but it wasn't even really a nut check. On the replay, it looked like he never even hit his cup. So I mean, he got lucky there. And then I don't know how, but King Green turned into a fucking wrestler. Great double leg, and then he just started ground and pounding with elbows and like little punches, and that ended up opening up a rear naked choke for Bobby Green. And I mean, it was just flawless performance from Bobby Green. Jeremy Stevens, you need to retire, or at least UFC. If he's not gonna retire, cut him. He does not deserve to be fighting in this division. Um, so following that, we got Brady versus Buckley. Now, I picked Brady in this too, and it went exactly as I said. Any single time Buckley tried to stand up, he'd throw a knee or a kick and get taken right back down to the ground. Um, Brady had some fucking beautiful takedowns. The ground and pound was crazy. It was just straight big shots. And Brady's top control is just insane. His grappling is just awesome. Uh, he is the definition of like fun grappling. He actually works for a finish the whole time. Unlike someone like Pat Sabatini, who's just gonna sit there and fucking grind it out for 15 minutes. Brady was looking for the fucking finish the whole time, and he couldn't get it. But like, damn, nobody's dominated Buckley like that, and he fucking dominated Buckley all 3 rounds. Um, onto the heavyweight matchup of the night. Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I picked Volkov, and what do you know? It went just like how I said. Good calf kicks, good body kick from Volkov. He just was circling the cage, avoiding Acosta's power right. Yeah, I mean he had a good jab going. Waldo, salsa boy, and you could tell he was super fast when he would blitz in, but he was just having trouble finding his range and finding the length of Volkov. Yeah, I mean, and it was kind of like a funny moment where Waldo, you can tell he's frustrated, so he starts doing the point down, and it's like, bro, you can't do that when you're losing. But then he's like, all right, let's do the point down. Let's do the point down. And he got rocked by a 1-2 to end the round. So it's like, you could tell by the end they were tired, though. And Volkov ended up winning by UD. Uh, I don't think either of these guys will ever, like, be champion. I don't think Volkov could beat Aspinall or even Piera. I really think Piera could probably beat Volkov. Maybe even Hokit, because both of these guys look slow out there, to be honest. I mean, Volkov already beat Gon. I know what the record books say, but like we already know Volkov beat Gon. So I mean, it was an alright fight. It was decent. Now on to this is fight of the night in my opinion. This was the fight of the night, best fight on the card. Joshua Vaughn versus Tatsuro Taira. Um, Tatsuro Taira, soon as the round starts, shoots in, gets a takedown within like 45 seconds and immediately flattened out Vaughn. But his defensive grappling is just insane, especially for someone who didn't even start wrestling until he was in MMA or in the UFC actually. So he just kept getting right back up, and then he started the jab. He just kept getting up, and honestly, Taira wasn't even doing damage on the ground. It was more of wet blanket. And that kind of disappointed me because Taira, I thought, was a fun grappler who like really does damage on the ground, and he really wasn't doing that. Yeah, Taira had a really good calf kick and some good knees, but when Vaughn started going, I mean, he had a great hook. Very slick hands. You could just tell the hand speed was so much faster. The power was so much more. Um, and yeah, Tyra really was just wet blanketing him throughout most of the fight. I believe Joshua Vaughn had more strikes from the bottom than Tyra did on top. So that's just kind of fucking sad. And then by the end of the second round, a hard straight right hand just put Tyra on his ass. It like switched the entire flow of the entire fight. Yeah. So third round, I know Vaughn landed a huge knee and one hand was down. So technically that was an illegal shot. But honestly, who gives a fuck? Because New Jersey, go fuck yourselves. Why do you get to be one of the only states, or I think it is the only state that says no 12-6 elbows. If you put one hand on the mat, he's down. Like, that shit's stupid, bro. Like, it's time to fucking adapt. So I hope nothing comes from that. But yeah, fuck New Jersey. And then he ends up. I mean, Vaughn probably could have got a finish in round 3, But he ends up fucking going for a rear naked choke. And Tyra ends up just getting up. And honestly, that could have been a 10-8 round. But yeah, I mean, Tyra just kept trying to clinch, grapple from that point on. And you could just tell he was fucked up. Von just kept lighting him up. No damage was really getting done to Von in the grappling. But he showed some great sprawls. And then, I mean, he ends up getting the finish. Yeah, it could have been a little early. But, like, dude, if they didn't stop it, it would have just been him fucking uppercutting him on the fence until he was unconscious. So, yeah, Von looks amazing. Paper champion, my fucking ass. I really think Pantoja is going to be the only person with the grappling that is going to be able to even give him a challenge. Von has some of the best boxing in the entire UFC, though. And definitely the best boxing in 125. So, yeah, fight of the night for me. The biggest upset, the main event, the fucking middleweight belt. This is the only fight that I didn't get right on the main card. I picked Chimaev. Did not go that way. First round, fucking Chimaev ragdolled Sean. It was bad. Like, he was just a ragdoll in his ass. Second, Chimaev could not get the takedown. You could tell he was gassed. That weight cut must have been so bad. Because he was just so gassed that, like, he was just fucking pulling guard. And that is the worst sign you can ever have in, like, a championship fight. Sean Strickland immediately started letting that jab go whenever they were standing, which you kind of expect from Sean Strickland. And yeah, I mean, Chimaev, it looked like he was going to give up. I really thought he was going to get finished. But then he ends up coming back. He only strikes with them in the third round. And that's the thing, you can't really just do that striking game with Strickland, because all he's going to do is just jab you to death. And yeah, in the fourth round, Hamzat actually started landing like some big right hands, some harder shots than Strickland's jab, and he ends up shooting again, and he gets it easy, and he actually starts dealing some damage on the ground. And then the final round, which really like determined the fight. I mean, Hamzat got a takedown within the first 10 seconds, but Strickland just got right back up. They both look so gassed, so tired. I know Strickland's nose was broken by that point. But yeah, Hamzat got another takedown. And I scored it 48-47 Chimaev. I thought they were both tied up 2-2 going into the final round. I thought Hamzat won the first round and the fourth round. I thought Strickland won the second and the third. I really thought Hamzat won the fourth, but it really could have gone either way. The reason I give Hamzat the fourth is the two takedowns, which, yes, Sean did get back up, but he was actively like looking for subs and damage, and then he was just walking forward the whole time and was throwing bombs. Sean was really just backing up and fucking spamming jabs. So it's like, does that really do damage? You just spamming a jab? I don't know. Debatable. But I'm not mad at the Strickland win, because, I mean, I guess now scoring isn't handled by octagon control, which is like pushing forward, advancing, retreating, which I can see the positive and negative of. I don't know, just in my opinion, I thought he won the fifth round. But yeah, advancing and takedowns really don't mean as much as just overall strikes, even though the strikes aren't that hard. And yeah, I went 4-0 on the early prelims, 2-2 on the regular prelims, and 4-1 on the main card, which is 10-3. I went 10-3 in my first ever predictions. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make these somewhat weekly. But yeah, 10-3 on my first ever card. I feel like that's pretty fucking good. Yeah, I mean that's all I can really say. I did pretty good. My fight of the night pick was Vaughn versus Tyra, and I think my people to watch out for would be. Here we go. Where are we at? Yaroslav Amazov. I think he you gotta watch him, and then Jose Achua. I want to see more out of him. That was a good ass fight, dominance. He needs someone in the rankings. Oh, shout out Sean Brady too. That was a really good one. Other than that, good card. I'd give it like 8 out of 10. It was good. There was a lot of finishes. Big upset. Yeah, great card. All right.